Hello again, and welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is BGFH.
I am not a gamer.
Oh, okay, well, of course, when I just start the video, sorry. This is BGFH. Welcome back to Illegally Cited. As I get a comment on my Illegally Cited YouTube channel, despite having Do Not Disturb on, there you go. But yeah, congratulations reaching 500. I didn't read the whole notification, but yeah, as I'm recording this, I just released this weekend my video for the channel has reached 500 subscribers. I think when I looked it was like 502. So that's, I'm not going to spend really any time on that, but it's just kind of cool to see that I have reached that level. I mean, when I started this, I thought if I'm lucky, I'll get 10 people to subscribe or watch anything that I do. And it started out really slowly at first. It was, pretty crawling along, but the last year or two, it's really year and a half or so, it's picked up quite a bit. So, now that we can return to our game, we are continuing, I think, part 6 now? I think? Does it say...
You are in middle adulthood.
I'm in middle adulthood. It doesn't say, like, what stage, because it says there are 7 stages, and I think we're getting there. So, probably got 1 or 2 episodes of this left. We're playing from birth to death, so we'll see how this journey concludes. We are doing fine education and work-wise. Seems like we're okay with Dad. Unfortunately, like I said, we lost our mom a couple episodes ago due to cancer. We had a relationship, but last episode I tried to propose, and things went, shall we say, south, and I really just, from that point, concentrated on all the other aspects of my life. So maybe during middle age, we'll give it one final crank on the old relationship thing. Otherwise, we'll just say, you know what, screw it. I'm going to be the old creepy guy, the old bachelor guy, I guess. So let's do some sort of icon.
Image.
Yeah, we'll do a work thing. Why not?
Select a mood. You need to talk to someone about a finance-related matter. The person with whom you are dealing has a reputation for being a stern, pragmatic, and very money-conscious business type. A meeting between you and this person is suggested. The outcome of such a meeting can affect your vocational sphere tremendously because he is very influential.
Okay.
A little nervous. Confident.
I would say that I could probably pull off confident because I've been able to so far.
Select an suggest a meeting at your place of work. Suggest a lunch meeting. Page 202. Suggest a meeting. Suggest a lunch meeting.
We'll do a lunch meeting.
Check.
That sounds like a good idea.
Suggest a breakfast meeting. Rate next button.
I don't want to make him come to me. Like, we'll kind of meet in the middle.
At lunch, the waiter asks if you would like to order a drink. Select an action. Order an alcoholic drink. Radio. Order a non-alcoholic drink. Wait for him to order first. Radio.
I'll let him order. Because he's Mr. Influence.
Button.
So we'll kind of...
He orders a double vodka martini. You can.
All right.
Order an alcoholic drink. Next.
Yeah, let's get liquored up.
Your history shows that you are not a regular alcohol abuser. Because of this, you are able to regulate your drinking so that it doesn't affect your judgment.
Hell yeah.
Because your thoughtfulness, social judgment is generally moderate to strong, the meeting goes well. The outcome is an increase in resources to the tune of $20,000.
Okay. To the tune of $20,000 indeed. I can definitely handle that. All right.
You are in middle adulthood.
Let's start this off in a positive note. All right. Let's do a social.
Link. Image. Social. Link. Image. Warning. This episode contains subject matter of a sexual nature.
Of course
Next
it does. Viewer discretion is advised. Okay, sorry.
A longtime friend and confidant tells you that he is having an unusual sexual problem with his wife. It seems that he can no longer get or maintain an erection like he used to.
Alrighty.
Select a mood.
What do I want?
Sympathetic. Radio. Unsympathetic. Radio button. Select an action. Tell him to see a doctor. Tell him not to worry about it. Tell him that's life. Radio button. Unchecked.
Oh man, I so badly want to just say it's life. Yeah, it's life. You're getting old. Get over it. I so badly want to do that. But I should...
Tell him to see a doctor. Next button.
I'll do the responsible thing, because that's where I'm going in this
He
game.
returns to tell you that the doctor told him that his problems might have been caused by the high blood pressure medication he has been taking. He feels relieved. Now there is only one small difficulty. You notice that you are having the same type of problem. Select an action. Get anxious. Radio. See a doctor. Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 1. Ignore IT. Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 1.
I know the responsible thing would be to see the doctor like he did. But knowing my health, I mean, I
See a
should.
doctor. Radio button. Unchecked.
But in real life, I just, I swear I almost have like a doctor phobia. Just knowing all the things that they can do to you and hearing all the things that happen. I mean, I know they're there to help people, but like, you know, you hear all of the crazy stuff that happens, or like, you know, most people are concerned about like the financial part of it because, you know, God forbid you have to take any medication or any procedure. It's like, oh, that'll be $800,000. Thank you, drive through. But yeah, I guess we will,
Next button.
for the game's sake, we'll check it out.
Next chapter. The doctor gives you a checkup and tells you that there is nothing wrong with your system. Anxiety can certainly affect sexual functioning. Perhaps when your friend told you that he was having difficulties, it made you so anxious that you developed some of your own. Next chapter. Button.
Fair enough.
They are sorted chronologically.
We're not dead yet, so
Relationships. Link. Image.
let's try
Relationships.
one
Link.
more
Image.
stab at a relationship.
Meet someone.
All right, we'll meet somebody.
Next button.
And where do we want to meet?
At work.
At work.
In or near your neighborhood. Radio button. Someplace other than work or your neighborhood. Radio button. Unchecked. In or near your neighborhood. Radio
Let's
button.
do our
Unchecked.
neighborhood.
Checked. Next button.
Let's do that, shall we?
Karen. Mary. Susan. Radio button. Linda. Radio button. Deborah. Radio button. Unchecked. Karen. Radio button. Cynthia. Radio button. Patricia. Radio button. Barbara. Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 1.
We'll do Barbara.
Check.
We'll go with Barbara this time.
Next button.
Why not?
You have chosen to meet with Barbara. Her characteristics may be described as follows. She is moderately trustworthy. She is very gentle. She is very calm. She is very happy. She is very confident. She is not very attractive. Next button. Next button.
Okay.
Fortunately, she is a sales clerk in the clothing store where you buy your clothes.
Oh, okay.
After deciding you are attracted to her, you ask her for a date. Fortunately, she accepts. Next chapter button. They are sorted chronologically.
So let's
School. Link. Relationships. Link. Image.
do relationships
Link, image.
here.
Go on a date / have an experience.
And
Go
let's
on a
see
date.
how the experience unfolds.
Barbara would like you to accompany her to an opera that she has been waiting to see for a very long time. Dress is formal. How do you feel about this?
I don't like opera.
Select an action. I hate the opera. Radio button. Well, I enjoy the opera. I'm not crazy about the opera, but we'll go if she wants to go. Radio button. Unchecked. Checked.
Yeah,
Next button.
we'll do that.
The opera seems to go on for hours. You can feel yourself nodding off from time to time. It is very dark, and no one would notice if you took a little nap. Select an action. Take a nap. Radio button. Try to stay awake. Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 1.
Try to stay awake.
Checked. Next button.
I won't guarantee anything.
That is very considerate of you. In order to do this, you must keep your eyes bulging wide open. If you close them for a second, you will be out like a light. Barbara looks over, sees you, and interprets this as a sign that you are in the same kind of rapture as she. She is considerate enough to buy you a cassette tape of the opera so you can play it in your car.
Oh no.
Next chapter button. You are in middle adulthood.
Yeah, the cassette tape, the player ate my tape. It's gone. Yeah, the tape machine destroyed it. Sorry. Opera sucks. Okay, anyway, let's continue here.
Intellectual.
Intellectual,
Link, image.
sure, why the heck
Link,
not?
Image. As you advance vocationally, you must leave your old responsibilities to various different people. On your next move forward, you are notified that a woman, full of new ideas, techniques, and strategies, is about to fill your old position. She will not be placed without your approval.
Okay.
Next button.
I think I encountered this during the last game. Now, I don't know if it'll play out any differently as far as what her statistics or her characteristics are.
You interview her for the position, and she comments that while she feels you did a good job where you were, she plans on doing a better one. She sees your skills in the area that you are about to lead as limited and old-fashioned, due to no fault of your own, but times are changing, you know.
Okay, one of those people.
Select a mood, angry, radio button, calm, radio button, select an action, recommend that someone else do the job, radio button, recommend that she is hired, radio button, unchecked, 1 of 1. Recommend that someone else do the job, radio button, checked, 1 of 1.
So, I can't just say, use the opinion of, okay, well, she thinks I'm old-fashioned. She thinks she can do a better job. I don't have anything indicating that she would do things like badly. They didn't say anything about that. if I recommend somebody else based on just this statement, they'll probably ask me why.
Recommend that she is hired. Recommend that someone else do the job. Radio button.
Because
Check.
this
One of
would,
one.
someone else do the job, with the information that I'm given, would lead me to believe that people just say, oh, you just don't like her because she thinks you're old-fashioned and blah, blah, blah.
Recommend that she is
I'll
hired.
just hire
Recommend
her
that she is hired.
because
Next button.
I don't have anything to really, other than, that one thing.
Next. Alert. Sorry, that combination of choices is not allowed.
Really?
Okay. Button. Okay. Alter. Calm.
Oh, I meant to do calm, sorry.
Recommend that she is hired.
Okay,
Next
I didn't mean
button.
angry.
Do you like her style?
No.
No. Radio button. Unchecked. Next button. Next. In 3 months' time, everyone who comes in contact with her is complaining that she is intolerable to work with. You can.
Yeah, so this sort of thing happened a similar way last time.
Select an action. Call her in for a talk. Radio button. Recommend that she be let go. Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 1.
If no one likes her,
Checked.
and I didn't like her to
Next
begin
button.
with, that was just a bad hiring decision.
Next chapter. You can see that this person doesn't take direction very well. This may be the only thing that will calm her down. Next chapter. Button.
All right,
Your game is saved.
you're
automatically.
gone, lady. So,
Social.
we'll
Link,
do a
image.
social one
Social,
here.
Link. Image. You have seen your friend, John, and his wife, Marcia, socially for a long time. They have a very peculiar relationship. Marcia insists on controlling every aspect of John's life. Next. Button.
Okay.
One day, when you are talking to John, he confesses that about 3 years ago, he began seeing another woman, one who is beautiful, kind, gentle, and loving. He has been thinking about leaving Marcia for this other woman, but is unsure if he can. Select a mood. Uncomfortable. Comfortable. Radio button. Select an action. Don't give him any direct advice. Give him advice. Radio button. Unchecked. Don't give him any direct advice. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 1. Comfortable.
Can I do comfortable and not
Don't give him any direct
give
advice.
him direct? I can give him advice, but not really direct advice. I'm like, dude, I'm not getting involved in this, but make up your own mind.
Next button. The sound of breaking glass punctuates your otherwise relaxing afternoon. You are glad you don't have to deal with any of this.
Huh?
Next chapter. Button. Your game is saved automatically.
Okay, I don't think that went quite as well as it could have, but
Physical. Link. Image. Relationship.
let's go
Link,
check in our
image,
late relationship
Link,
status here.
image.
Let's
Go on a date / have an experience.
go on a
Go
date
check.
experience.
Next button. Next.
Wait, what?
Cool. Link. Image. Relationship.
I said
Link,
go
image,
to go on a
relationships.
what
Link,
the
image.
heck?
Go on a date / have an experience with your Go on a checked. Next.
I don't know if it went to the
Moving,
wrong.
Ellipsis. You have recently found out that Barbara is married. Do you still want to continue this relationship
Oh,
with her?
really? Something like this happened to me last time, except I didn't know about it until we had this one happen, and then we went and did this, and things are actually going pretty well. And by the way, it's oh yeah, I'm married. Well, at least I found out within the first 1 or 2 events.
No. No.
No, screw it.
Checked. Next button.
I'm
Next.
done. All you women are crazy. Sorry.
You should go to the relationship icon and meet someone else. Next chapter. Button.
Or not. I'm just going to go through the
You play from
game
birth until death, whenever that may be.
as myself.
Physical. Link. Image.
Physical.
Physical. Link.
See what we
image.
got here.
Lately, you have been feeling sharp twinges of pain, localized in the stomach. The pain arrives about an hour or 2 after eating, but disappears completely when you put something into your stomach.
Okay, heartburn or ulcer. I don't know. Let me take a drink here real quick. Oh, there we go. Well,
Radio button. Up panic. Concern.
concerned.
Concern. Checked. Go to the doctor. Wait for it to pass.
I know it's probably not a good idea,
Wait for it
but
to
let's
pass.
just hope
Check.
it's
Next.
heartburn.
Button. Next. It seems as if you are afraid to go to the doctor. I can certainly understand that, but this is serious. You really should go. You can. Select an action. Wait for it to pass. Radio. Go to the doctor. Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 1.
I probably should go if I want to keep the game going longer, because I want to see if I can get my next stage to go better,
Checked. Go to the next button. Next.
because I waited for a little while.
No. Radio button.
It didn't go
Unchecked.
away?
Your concern is justified. The doctor tells you that you have developed an ulcer. Right now, the ulcer can be treated with some antacids and other medications, by rest and relaxation, and by avoiding stressful situations whenever possible. Will you take the doctor's advice?
Yeah,
Yes. Next. button.
vacation sounds good to me.
Good. Good. Eventually you recover. Next chapter. Button. There are 7 stages of life in Alter Ego.
Okay.
Social. Link. Image.
Do a social one
link,
here.
Image. You and a group of friends are sitting around discussing people that you used to know. It seems that an oddball acquaintance of yours who became a recluse, always holed up in his workshop, has just invented a pocket golf ball washer that has earned him a large fortune. Next. Button.
Okay.
After making all of that money, instead of retiring, he has chosen to donate it to a charity for homeless inventors, and is now back at work. Sure enough, just 2 weeks after this discussion, he shows up at a social function. Next. Button. Select a mood. Naturally, everyone who speaks with him has a remark to make about his behavior. Eventually, he wanders over to the group of people with whom you are having a discussion.
I don't see anything weird about a loner inventing things. I think that's... If I was smart enough to actually invent something and I actually had the technical know-how to do it, I probably would.
Select a mood. Disdainful/sarcastic. Supportive. Radio button.
Supportive.
Check.
Good for you, man.
Say something positive about what he has done. Say something positive. Make a...
Hello again, this is BGFH, and I totally apologize for what just happened. We apparently hit a snag that I didn't realize. You notice I'm going to probably paste this video together with the last one. You didn't miss much. But here's the thing, the video just cut off. For some reason, the recording just stopped, and I don't know why. And one problem, I mean, I get why they do it, because, you know, you got to live with the choices that you make in the game, but I can't go back to a point where we left off, because it saves automatically, and I can't just go back to a previous state and redo my choices. The video recording just stopped for some reason, and I apologize. Unfortunately, we didn't live much longer, so I basically did okay. I don't remember exactly where we left off. The only things that may have happened since the video went stupid was I did a work activity, and I got recognition for my accomplishments into the field, and I chose to be humble and give a short speech, and I thanked my coworkers, which made people like me a bit more. Otherwise, it was really nothing major. Except we did not make it to old age. My last choice of the game was people around me were, oh, hey, we're all joining health clubs and whatever. And I thought, well, I chose not to because I was hoping that it was going to give me another option. Like, you know, health clubs are just like everything else. Like, you know, everyone just charges you so much money for things. So I chose not to join the health club, and I was hoping it would give me other options like, oh, okay, well, let's go on daily walks, or I have this weight set that I've had since God knows when, like high school or something, or like I said, I could go for a walk, I could whatever. But instead, because I didn't choose to pay the money and join the health club, it just said, well, your health deteriorated and you suffered a fatal stroke and died. So I died at a middle-aged, young age. I did not even survive to old age, which really sucks. So I actually did worse this time than I did in the playthrough where I where I wasn't playing it online or on video here. So unfortunately, you don't get to see any events in old age, but that, like I said, this just illustrates what kind of crazy stuff can happen. There were times throughout the game that I thought I was going to fail. You know, when I cracked my head open from falling on the rock, when I drank poison, like that could have ended it right there, and that would have been pathetic. But I, scraped through there. I knew I was always flirting with disaster with physical health, but I'm like, well, I was hoping to give me other options, but nope. Instead, you just keel over and die. But basically, what I really like about this game is that there's so much variety to it. You know, the choice of games. I want to say was it Choice of Dragon Pass or it was Choice of something. It was a game that was made by that group. It was in one of the earlier games. I think I covered it during the XREC days when I first started covering iOS apps and games. I don't remember which one I covered, but they make a lot of titles for iOS, and I want to say the majority of them are voiceover accessible. So I would highly recommend this game just because, you know, even though I did a full playthrough, you notice that there were several icons that I didn't even get to during each stage of life. I forget which one it was. There was a stage where I didn't hardly even there was like 4 screens or so, and I didn't even hardly touch any icons on the bottom one. So we have that, and then even the ones that I did do, you could definitely see where you could definitely go down different paths, and the outcome would be drastically different. I did not successfully get into a good relationship, so I didn't get any marriage. I don't have any kids. None of that stuff. I really didn't buy that many things. I bought a computer, I bought a car, and that's really about it. You know, it was just me, so I didn't even take out a loan for a house. There's so much more. You could play this probably, you know, a good few more times if you really wanted to, and things would. Again, I kind of admire the amount of thought and effort that went into this, because like you got to keep track of, oh, okay, well, is this person still alive? Who were you with? What happened? The traits of all these people and how that affects your traits and your money and just all kinds, you know, your education, job status, all that kind of stuff. So I like the depth of this game compared to, you know, some of the other accessible games where I've kind of said that, yeah, some of them seem a little bit more simplistic. You know, I just think this is a well-crafted game. Alter Ego is a really well-crafted game. I did look it up. It is $5 in the App Store, which I think is perfectly reasonable. You know, one playthrough can probably last a few hours as it did here. And again, you have so much variety and choices and different ways to play it that, you know, this is something that can keep you busy for quite some time. So I highly recommend the app. And for $5, I would say it's absolutely worth it. It works flawlessly with VoiceOver. You know, you can pick it up and play. You can pause it. You know, you can just close the app, come back, and resume it. There's no problem there. And, you know, I don't want to end this on a preachy note, but like I said, I really do encourage you guys to support a really good developer like this, especially for accessible content, because, you know, I talked about it a little while ago when I found out the Something Else guys were closing up shop, or they weren't doing any more accessible titles, and they're not going to be doing any updates, I don't think, anymore for Papa Sangre 1 and 2 or The Nightjar or Audio Defense, all of which are fantastic games. There was a thread on AppleViz not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, I think, where somebody was actually commenting on the state of accessible games and was kind of worried that, like, hey, a lot of these older titles are not being updated, and they're probably, you know, are they going to break in iOS 10? Are the developers going to stop supporting them? You know, there's been news where Apple is going to kind of start pulling some of the apps from the App Store that are not, you know, that haven't been updated or supported, just to get rid of some of the clutter, which I think, you know, is totally reasonable. If you haven't you know, the App Store has been around for a long time now, and if you haven't touched the app for a couple of years, and it, you know, for some things it could be broken, you know, I think it's fairly reasonable to do that. I mean, you want to give the developers some warning to say, hey, you know, if you plan on keeping this around, you should really do something, otherwise we are going to pull it. You know, I think the developers should have warning and should be notified specifically, but, you know, it seems fairly reasonable. So, I replied to that post because there was another post on AppleViz also not too long ago around that time. And I forget what the app was. It wasn't even a game. It was some sort of messaging app or something. And what I found disturbing was that everyone was saying things like, oh, this sounds really interesting. Here's my email. Can you give me a promo code? Hey, I like the idea of this. Give me a code. When can I get a code? How do I get it for free? And I saw like, I quit looking at the thread actually because it's kind of made me angry. I saw it was probably a good half a dozen or better, probably more posts that were like that, and I'm going, oh, you guys, it's not that bad. I mean, I know we live in an instant gratification society, and I'm guilty of it too. Something cool comes out, oh, I want that, I must have it, gimme. I fall into it too. I'm not saying I'm innocent on it, but it's things like that where we're a smaller market as it is, and we have fewer choices. I mean, look at accessible games. Yes, there are getting to be a lot more of them in recent years, which is excellent. But if somebody, is blind or visually impaired to the point where they really can't play many mainstream games and they rely on either text-based or audio games or things like that, if we don't support these developers, we're going to quit seeing them. Maybe they will quit updating them. And maybe some of the companies will go under, or they'll just stop supporting them, or, if they're not receiving enough income, because it costs money, not just for the development, the development tools and time, but they got to support themselves. They're probably not living on a government check. They're probably, they need to support themselves to be able to make the games, keep the lights on, keep food, get food. And, I mean, you have the other expenses of, maybe you got to hire somebody to do the audio. If you want professional audio, or at least semi-professional audio that doesn't sound like, hey, I am reading from a script and this is an audio game. You should do this thing. And I've heard some games like that where I understand everyone doesn't have a huge budget, and I can forgive a lot of that. But, even with that, it costs a lot sometimes to do even what seems like a very simple game. You're like, oh, this only lasted, a couple hours. Yeah, well, it can cost a bit. So, like I said, I don't want to end on a really, preachy note, but I really do want to encourage people to support the good things that we have now that we have them. Otherwise, we may see some of this stuff go away. We may see some of accessible games and accessible apps deteriorate or not be supported anymore. So we don't want that to happen. But I'll end that little sidetrack there. I apologize again for what happened with the video. I wish we could go back and record the last few icons. I mean, it wasn't very many. I was very close to where I actually ended up dying in the game. But unfortunately, you didn't get to see the exact wording of what happened. But basically what I said is exactly what happened. I didn't join a health club. And not given any other options, I died with a stroke. So, yeah. But it was a fun game. I enjoyed recording it. I enjoyed playing through it a second time. I actually enjoyed some of the other choices that I made just as much, if not more so, the second time going through it on video. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys found the series entertaining, and I hope you guys pick up the game for yourself and give it a shot, because there's plenty more you didn't encounter. So we'll leave it off there. Follow me on Twitter at BGFH79. And until next time, I will talk to you guys again later.